So, planning going into 2021, just this week, it's weird because I didn't really think about it and plan it per se, but I made those phone calls, which I never usually do, to some customers that aren't buying, that I've had minimal contact with, and say, hey, listen, I know things are going to get crazy next week and the week after. I just want to wish you and your family Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. That wasn't a script. That wasn't something that I had put in my to-do list. It was something where I'm driving down the street, I think of something, and just make that phone call. I think 4 phone calls took 4 minutes. Yep. It's not going to produce an outcome or the Bluebirds tomorrow or next week, but I guarantee that those people in January are going to think, wow, that's the guy that called me. Like he yep. He cared when he didn't have to, when I'm not spending any money with him. But here he is talking about me and my family on our holiday season.
When the pandemic started, I mean, we were talking about this. I did a lot of outreach to folks, even just on like LinkedIn voice messages, and just left them messages and said, hey, thinking about you. I know that there's a lot going on. Let us know if there's anything we can support. And, I hope all is well. Praise all is well with you and your family. Because I feel like at the end of the day, I mean, they're all people. And I get to work with a lot of senior leaders in the organizations that I support. And it's wonderful, but they're people at the end of the day. And there is a degree of humanity that I think has been added to the whole selling experience this year. You hit on that earlier, the empathy, the EQ, whatever you want to call that. And I love it. I think it gives us even more opportunity to shine the more genuine we are as sellers. I think the people that are struggling right now are the ones that may not have flexed that muscle and that are trying to do the old methods of, hey, I'm going to send you an email or I'm going to send you a LinkedIn message and just tell you everything that I do. It isn't about that. It's where can I add value? Where can I really do something meaningful? And how well do I understand what you're grappling with? Because if I'm coming to you and saying, hey, I can just give you all of this stuff. Well, the world looks completely different than it did beforehand.
Well, and I had a conversation with somebody in my organization about that a couple of days ago. We call it throwing up on the customer.
Yeah. I always call it vomiting.
Vomiting. Yeah. They didn't ask for the information, but we're just going to vomit all over them. Yeah. In 2021, I think, I'm not going to say that I'm the best by any means, but I think as sellers and myself need to give these customers and prospects a compelling reason to buy from us.
And to talk to us.
That's it. I mean, and I don't think we can go into having this attitude sometimes where like we're going to have a conversation and we're going to immediately show them everything we can do. Some of these relationships are going to take longer than we think. And that's okay because they're typically the bigger customers, but we need to be there with the support, the articles, the notes, the Christmas cards, and say, hey, listen, here's a reason to talk to us. Even if you don't do anything right now, I'm still here. Carson, this week there's a new restaurant that opened up in my neighborhood. I sent him a thank you card and said, thank you for investing in 63122. Can't wait to have a meal here and make memories with my family.
Love it.
He might not ever buy from me, but guess what? He knows who I am.
Absolutely. And those little deposits into those invested relationships make all the difference in the world. And you know what I can tell you over time, how many people I've developed a relationship with in some of these organizations that went to another organization, and guess what? Then they immediately want to do business with you. So not only do you have a relationship at this organization, but you've got a relationship at this one, because these people that you invested in went to these other places, and now you're everywhere. It's amazing when you really look at it as a process and people, business and game, how those types of things can transcend. I think the sellers that are struggling right now, my word of advice would be, don't be short-sighted. Think about every way that you can invest in people and continue to evolve your process, stand out, be unique, but really think about, why should this customer talk to me? What's the real reason they should talk to me?